Hi, I'm Min Kobayashi, and I'm not very good at vlogging, FYI, so this is going to be wonderful. I am just here to talk about Incarcerin. So this is currently the Tome Topple wonderfulness, and I decided I was going to tackle two books on my shelf that have been sitting there forever. And Incarcerin has been sitting there since January 1st, 2017, so it's coming on the 2-year mark. And I decided that I was finally going to listen to it. I don't have time to really physically read right now, so I was like, I'll just listen to it on audiobook, it'll be great. It's over 500 pages, wonderful. And pretty much the premise is just that people are jailed for life in this prison, which we later find out is a living prison, which is kind of terrifying. And then the rest of the world decided that they just wanted to stop. I think it was to keep people from the anxiety of change. They decided to halt all kinds of development in science and technology and stuff like that, so they're stuck even though they have a lot of ability to do really great things. It's kind of confusing how that happens. I'm not sure if they regressed back or that they've just developed things later on but never implemented them. It sounds like it should be a really good novel, even though very cliche, because, you know, arranged marriage to a dim-witted guy, that her old guy used to be super great and he's gone missing, we think he's murdered. I'm just like not liking it. I feel like I got this vibe a while ago, which is why I've never read it. I don't know why I picked it up. I really wanted a book. I got it for free at my aunt and uncle's. I'm just getting like kind of angry listening to it. It just kind of makes me irritated. At some parts I'm like really enthralled because the world building is quite good. I think so. It's like steampunky, right? And I know I've talked about Leviathan before on my channel by Scott Westerfeld, which is also steampunk, which a lot of people love. And I just find like it's never explained enough. Like, yeah, we have some cool stuff, but I wish they would go into more depth. I'm more of a person who I don't like figuring out things as they go. I would rather just things explained, and I know a lot of people find that like info dumping or whatever. But I think that can be done in a really good way. There's a lot of like terms and things like that, and even reading reviews on it, people are like, I had to go and reread things multiple times. And a lot of clarification of characters and just things aren't given. I don't really know who Claudia is or Finn. It's just like really all over the wise. Their characterization is strange and weird. She'll be like, I'm ruthless, but like I don't see anything ruthless about her. And I get the like tough exterior, like soft inside, which I think is what it's going for, but it's just really weirdly characterized throughout. I'm not really sure what her personality is and what her traits are. I don't feel any connection to any of the characters, and it's just very, this is what is happening, let's not take time to develop these people, which I really don't like. I also have The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein, and maybe just like having that book sitting there and me desperately wanting to read it when I can't read it because I'm waiting to finish these two books is just also kind of like making me angry. I feel often when I have books that I more want to read on my shelves and I feel like I have to read something, I just get frustrated. So I don't know if that one's over 500 pages. It should be close either way. It's by Kirsten White, and I absolutely love And I Darken, so I can't wait to pick up that book. So that might be it. We still have a week left of Tome Topple, so yeah, I've got some reading to do. So this is kind of changing from a Tome Topple reading vlog to just a general reading vlog because, let's be honest, I'm really bad at Tome Topple. This is my, I guess it's my second. Did I participate in it earlier? I can't remember. However, I'm really bad at readathons. Readathons or TBRs just make me want to read everything that's not one of those things. So I've actually been doing a fair amount of reading. I've also been quite sick, so a fair amount of reading has been lowered. I just read a bunch of Anne of Avonlea, which is lovely. I love Lucy Maud Montgomery's writing, and this was my least favorite book when I first read it 10 years ago, and I understand now because I was only 11 at the time, and it's a really nuanced book about change, especially in growing up, which of course I didn't understand at the time. It's just so beautiful though, and the friendship and those thoughts of wanting to stay and knowing you can't, and moving on and having that bittersweet leaving of childhood, that touched me really strongly, as I could relate to it, and I could relate to having friends that are moving on at the end of college too, and those transitions are difficult, and not knowing necessarily how everything is going to come through, but knowing that it's good and it's exciting. And that was really hit me really strongly while reading the book. I've been reading The Titan's Curse. Look at me actually doing read DA. So I'm part of Readathon Demigods Anonymous with Margaret from the Word Nerd and Kenzie Lee T, and I have been slacking on my reading abilities. It's just, these last few months have been really difficult for my health and reading just in general, so reading the books was a little bit harder, so I decided to pick it up on audiobook. And I know a lot of people complained that I have started to read them on audiobook before reread them, and I just couldn't stand their voices. This one, the pronunciation isn't bothering me. They have a French accent from the Manitou, which I wasn't a huge fan of. I'm from Ottawa, which is on the border of Quebec and Ontario in Canada, which means most of my friends have some understanding of French, and a lot of my friends are French speaking. That's not how a French accent is. I guess it's probably trying to be a bit more like France, but it just didn't sound French to me. It just sounded really strange. And yeah, and then Apollo is Southern accent. That's not how Apollo sounds like. That bothered me. I was like, why does he have a Southern accent? I guess, like, no. I didn't like it. Other than that, I did really actually enjoy it, though. I thought that Jesse Bernardine, or whatever his name is, did a quite good job. I enjoyed his rendition of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, which is one of the reasons I actually trusted picking this up as my beloved Percy. I'm also doing a lot of history on Lucy Maud Montgomery. She is one of the people that I absolutely love in literature. She's always just been a writer I've looked up to. And yeah, her story is so sad and tragic, and I knew that, and just reading her words on World War I and on women's suffrages was just really powerful for me today. I know her last book in the Anna Green Gables series, Real Love Ingleside, covers World War I and the prices paid and the disillusionment that happened. And there's a quote about her that I've always held very dear, which is, for a woman who had such an unhappy life, she brought so much love and brightness into other people's life. That's a paraphrase. But I'm always astonished by how much joy she brought to the lives of others, especially mine, after having such a terrible life. I guess I've been a very rereading time. Because I've been sick and fairly bedridden, I've been rewatching Arrow as well, and I just love voiceover so much. Why is there's so many shows that like start with voiceover and then eliminate it, and it makes me so angry. Voiceover is like my favorite thing in TV shows, and I'm actually really enjoying it because I watched The Flash first, so I kind of watched it, tried and get all the backstory, and now that I've read a lot more comics and I've known the world for so long, and it's been like 4 or 5 years, I actually really enjoyed it a whole lot more. And I think I actually might just rewatch, like, probably only the first 2 seasons or so, but rewatch them. And I never actually watched, like, I've watched episodes in 4, 5, 6, more in 6, and now I've watched all of the new 7 episodes. Simply because I just don't have time, and the show really went downhill. However, I am really curious to see the mayorship and how that goes, because I was intrigued to see his development and to see that kind of quickly and enjoy it, because the first time I was more rushed on storylines because I was like, I need to know what happened. I want to be up to date because I wanted to be done both series to watch on time at the same time, so I wasn't spoiling myself. So I started watching during the break of the mid-seasons in the first season of The Flash, so December, I think, of 2014, and I wanted to watch it all, and I think I watched the last 2 episodes. I'm gonna go make brownies now. I'm really finding it fun to discover new ways to make food, because I'm intolerant to a lot of food, and my roommate is allergic to practically everything above the sea. It's pretty amazing. Make brownies that we can both eat, and it's gonna be delightful. Anyways, have a great day. Happy reading. I'll catch in with you later.